Hello everybody, Ray Pither on the McAllen Cable Network here at the McAllen Chamber of Commerce. And today we're joined by Nancy Millar. She's the director of the Chamber's Convention and Visitors Bureau. We're also talking to Robert Lopez. He's the director of Sports Tourism Sales here at the McAllen Chamber's CVB as well. Thanks for having me over.
Well, thank you for coming.
You guys always have a lot of exciting stuff going on.
We do. We are very, very active, and it's in lots of different directions, so it keeps us busy.
How are we doing on convention sales?
Actually, convention sales are going great. We have been really pulling them in. We have a great sales team. Rob Lopez is our director of sales for conventions, as well as being in sports tourism. Tricia Watts is a sales manager, and we've recently hired a new sales manager also who is stationed in Austin, and her name is Emily Matthews. So we have 3 people now who are working that, plus I do a little bit, but mostly it's the 3 of them. So things are going really well. And I'd love to throw some numbers at
Absolutely.
you if I may. Okay. So far, year to date, we have booked in 25 different conventions or meetings. And that's a really good number because we are on track to best, either match or best last year's number, which was the second highest number that we've ever done.
Oh,
so
good.
yeah, it's going really well. The things that we've booked in so far, the events we've booked in so far, have will generate about $1.9 million in sales for McAllen City businesses. That's between restaurants, hotels, gas stations, retail stores, all of that together, $1.9 million. So that's, we really are here. That's what we're here to do, is to support and encourage economic growth in the city of McAllen by bringing in these conventions and people who come in and spend money.
And why is McAllen the choice for your next convention?
You know, it's different for every convention, but a lot of them are attracted, of course, by our warm weather and our low cost of living. And a lot of them, I'll tell you what, if we can get them here and they see the city, they see the wonderful amenities we have, the really top drawer restaurants and hotels, and our fantastic convention center, we've got them. It's just a matter of getting them down here.
And it keeps getting better all the time.
It is, actually, and I'm so glad you said that because actually this year, next year's bookings, what this number was, and this is a little confusing, but what that number was how much business has been booked in this year.
But not necessarily for this year.
Right,
for the
exactly
future.
right,
Okay.
exactly right. So for this year, we have 23 conventions in town. Conventions and meetings and events, 10 of them at the convention center, and the other 13 at hotels or other meeting venues around the city. And that's for an economic impact of $2.48 million.
Nice.
Yes, and then for next year, for 2014, we're already at 19 events for $3.7 million. So
pacing.
What's happening here is now that the economy is starting to get better, it looks like the conventions themselves are being able to attract a few more people to come into town. So the conventions are getting larger as far as attendance, which means more economic impact for the individual events for McAllen. So that's very good news.
And we're seeing those positive economic indicators like our retail sales tax.
Right. Well, and retail sales tax and hotel occupancies are also increasing now. So things are starting to get better. Yeah.
Very good. Let's talk to Bob now about sports tourism.
Yeah, thanks. Well, this all kind of came about the end of last September. Myself, along with a group of individuals from Parks and Rec, we bid on the Texas Amateur Athletic Federation Games of Texas for 2016 and for 2017. This is the largest amateur athletic sporting event in the state of Texas.
And you got it.
And we got it, yeah. And it's the largest sporting event that will ever take place in the history of the Rio Grande Valley. It'll be 8,000 athletes, 20,000 unique visitors to McAllen over a 4-day span, and each year that event alone over 4 days will generate $10 million for the city.
What are the dates for that event?
It's the last weekend in July in 2016 and the last weekend in July in 2017. Nice. And so because of that, the Parks and Rec Department has fast-tracked the building of the soccer complex. There's some other projects for other sporting venues that are going to be fast-tracked that should be done by 2016. The great thing about McAllen is that when we know that there's going to be a large event in town or a lot of people in town, we really try to make it a first-class event. So building these new venues has opened up another avenue for McAllen, and that's sports tourism. We found that doing our research that sports tourism sales are up by 6%, and the number of sporting events in general is up by 10%. And each sports visitor spends an average of $208 per day. So when you have a tournament that attracts 1,000 people per day, it's over a 3-day event. You add up the numbers, and it's a huge return on investment. And so what we did was we developed the McAllen Sports Commission. And the mission of the Sports Commission is to create and host quality sporting events in the city of McAllen, of course, to increase the economic vitality, enhance the quality of life, and of course promote health and wellness within the city and its citizens. But first and foremost, our goal is to increase the economic impact that these visitors have. So what we do is we work with the Parks and Rec Department, of course with the CVB as well, and other organizations to attract these events, and really just try to economic impact the economy with different types of sporting events, whether it be soccer, Little League Baseball, softball, or other unique events like ultimate frisbee, rugby, the niche sports like that.
And how do you position McAllen as the city for your next tournament?
Well, that's great. I'm glad you asked that, because our proximity to the border, where sometimes it might be a hindrance, or it might be far for people to travel down here, it's actually a positive thing with sports because of our international aspect. When you have a team from Monterey or Mexico City and a team from Dallas, well, it's a very long distance to travel, but McAllen is the middle point. So we can attract international teams to come here and play, and they're already familiar with McAllen. And when a team from Dallas or Houston has the opportunity to, let's say, play the Little League champions from Reynosa, they can come to McAllen and play them here, and it's a middle ground for them. And so we're using that as our advantage. And of course, as Nancy mentioned earlier, our great year-round weather. So our catchphrase or slogan, if you may, for the McAllen Sports Commission is McAllen, always in season.
That's right. And plus we've got all the great hotels, we've got all the great restaurants and world-class shopping.
Exactly.
Excellent. So if people would like more information about this new sports commission, or maybe they want to book their next tournament here in McAllen, who do they call?
They can call me. You can reach me at the McAllen Chamber of Commerce. You can reach me by calling 682-2871 and just ask for Robert Lopez. I'm easily accessible.
Awesome. All right. Ms. Nancy, anything else we should mention?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about an event that we have coming up. It's called the McAllen Blues Night. It'll be the first ever, and it's going to be June the 28th at the new Creative Incubator, which is in the former main library location at 601 North Main Street.
Which is looking very nice. We did we shot a video with Mr. Elania some time back, and it was taking shape.
Yeah, we're very proud of how that's turned out. It's fully booked, so it's all the studio spaces are rented. But this event is going to feature Carl Morgan, who is a well-known blues musician from Austin, and then also two local bands, Lamar Jones and the Lee Hollis Band. So it's going to be a great event, lots of fun. June the 28th, free after you're in, free food and adult beverages, and a silent auction and an art display, and plenty of music. So we hope everybody will join us. It's $25 a ticket. They're available here and at the Creative Incubator.
Very good. And phone number for more details?
682-2871.
Very good. Anything else? Should we cover it all?
I think we got it.
All right, Ms. Nancy Millar,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Robert Lopez, thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. And as always, we thank you for watching. I'm Ray Pedraza, and this is the McAllen Cable Network.